I think everybody across the board, even today, is, I don't want to hurt him. So you looked at it as a little bit like you're fragile or frail. I'm not 89 with dementia. I'm a 32-year-old vibrant entrepreneur who loves life and who wants to change the world. You just got to be able to share with them that I'm still an artist, still a man, and I like to be touched and love to love. My name's Todd Stabelfeldt, and my diagnosis is a complete C4 quadriplegic. I have little to no movement or feeling from the shoulders down. To take a step back, 1979 is when I was born. In the August of 1987, my mom decided to remodel her bedroom. And the last things that she had to take were my dad's guns. So she put those unknowingly into a spare room, thinking nothing's gonna happen. And my cousin Mike, at 11, me, 8, decided to play with those guns. And he shot me in the chin with a 22 bolt action rifle. A bullet went through my throat and severed my spinal cord. You know, when I woke up in the hospital, I couldn't move anything. And I wasn't breathing on my own. I had a ventilator. Was yes, was no. And a rapid eye movement was more morphine. And then I regained the ability to speak with the ventilator, but was told from the get-go that there would be no movement, period. I went to sort of school, in quotes, as I was in the hospital, and then finally returned probably a year after. So people I had friends before were no longer friends. I mean, you're kids. How do you relate to somebody that can't move anymore? So relationships have been altered greatly from that day. And on one side of the coin, it is really sad and horrible. And the other side too is that it's pretty beautiful. Ended up leaving high school at the end of my sophomore year to explore more of a college, like a running start type program. Trying to go to school, you know, trying to get out of state, caregiving, et cetera, was a huge eye-opener that, no, as a disabled person, you need to make a lot of money very fast. And we happened to be in this time of this thing called the internet, and everybody was getting millions of dollars at 22. And so I thought, that's something I should do. I ended up finishing school and getting a job about 3 days after I turned 18 to work in the software business. I just happened to stumble upon a small anatomical pathology software company in Seattle that was ready to take a chance on somebody. It was a whole new learning experience. You know, how to sell myself and how to be professional in spite of my disability. Well, up until January, I was responsible for product vision and direction. I was also responsible for hiring and firing all of the staff and for encouraging and cultivating a professional and personal relationship with them. I have a 6 and 8-year-old that I hang out with a lot. You know, I cannot play with them like able-bodied people play with them. But what you get in that is a huge opportunity to be in the presence of a child. Quad father says close your eyes. Quad father says unplug your ears. Quad father says hands down. Quad father says one jumping jack. Purpose. I mean, we gotta have that. I mean, everybody. And if you don't, then it's just, forget it. And it took me, I'd say up until maybe just a few years ago, before I started going, what's my purpose? What am I here to do? Who am I here to love? You know, the 6 and 8-year-old have shown me that. That uncle, I could carry it last year in a wheelchair. You know, you're here to love me. And in return, I will love you unconditionally. That is an incredible freedom. A lot of us don't know how to be with somebody when they're in pain or be with somebody when they're compromised, because it either makes us feel weird or uncomfortable, or like, oh my God, I hope it doesn't happen to me. Caregiving is the worst nightmare of being disabled, by far, than anything else that represents this horrible disability. And I'm trying to bring the room down, but to be dependent on another human being is horrible, absolutely horrible. And that person has no concept how to care for themselves. How will they ever care for me? I think I blow most caregivers over because they have no idea. You want me to do what? You know, yeah, I need to format the hard drive on this computer. I need to use remote desktop to get to a server in Oklahoma. Something's wrong with my router. I need you to, take out those wires and plug them in. What? Caregivers take care of me. They're the essence of me getting up and down. They're in the service industry because for the most part, they want to serve and they have huge hearts. Norm is a gentleman who works for me who I absolutely in love with.
I'm Norman, and I've been working for Todd almost a year and a half. It was an opportunity to play a different role and to serve in an area where I knew I had some value. Apprehensive at first? Yes, of course, because I wasn't sure what all was involved. And what does it mean to serve somebody who can only move certain parts of his body? And so I had to learn what those were. The first apprehension was you don't want to make a mistake and to make them feel awkward in the process. Do I feed him? Don't I feed him? Who feeds him? What's the cue to do the next thing? Well, in Todd's case, he would give me the cue. I would maybe emphasize the issue of wanting to serve, have a service attitude, and that says that I've got to put myself, my desires aside such that I can serve somebody else's desires, because that's what I'm here to do.
I'd say if you want to work in the area of service, learn to live on the back burner. Don't allow this to be about you. This is not your show. This is your client's show. You are support. Give me the freedom to be a human being. Like I said, man, my disability, man, it's a curse, and it's a key. It's amazing, sad, but it's taught me a lot. I have the keys to the human heart. I have access to everybody on the world that most people don't. Because of my physical brokenness, that allows people to be broken too. That allows people to shed off the masks and the suits and to say, can I join you for a while? When you get to have a real conversation with another human being, awesome. Incredibly sweet, incredibly honoring. And unfortunately, most of us uprights don't get that opportunity, nor allow ourselves to go there. Not everybody quite gets the reasons why we're here. I mean, we're really only here on this earth to have a relationship. I'm not going to sit here and say that I love this, because this is pretty much BS. But it has granted me an opportunity to love people and to be loved in the way that we all inherently want to be loved.